Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are winding up our conversation on cerebral palsy, a very important conversation we've been having for the past 30 minutes. Sarah, let me just loop you into the conversation now. What are some of the things that maybe other children do so easily, so effortlessly, that probably Brittany and other children who live with cerebral palsy can't do on a day-to-day basis?
Same like kuna wale unajua ukiwa na mtoto wa cerebral palsy ana depend kwako kila kitu, haizi fanya anything. Ni wachache mikono zao umove. Ni wachache wanaweza chiu kitu kimpatia. Ni yani majority unawapatia mashed, kila kitu ikiwa mashed. Chakula unawamashia. Yani in short ana depend kwako kila kitu.
So, and then how are you able to communicate with Brittany? Is she able to talk?
Kidogo.
So mnaweza communicate kidogo?
Yes, speech, but a little. Sick sana.
Douglas, does speech improve over time with the therapy that you were saying earlier?
Yeah, it improves, but still, depending on the severity of the condition.
Okay.
Like for Brittany, since we have been with her in the center, that is Cerebral Palsy of Kenya, I don't know, we have seen her speech improving daily, and
wow.
The speech of these children also improves when there is a direct communication between a mother or the caregiver and the child. And more importantly, play group. When you introduce a play group with, for such kids, they'll have to learn from the regular children. So we always encourage the parents to have at least other kids playing with the children so that they can learn speech from them. And speech for them, you know, the country at the moment, we are much behind because we don't have enough speech therapists in the country. Not only speech, but even the specialists for these kids. So you find that that basic management, that basic program that for speech therapy, these parents lack. But for us occupational therapists, we just facilitate speech by using some activities, like in this case, Brittany, we do encourage the mother to use, let's say, the chewing tubes to try to blow something, to use the straws, you know. So by doing that, he will be exercising the oral muscle, and then the speech will come slowly.
What are the costs when it comes to therapy?
Actually, this condition is very costly. It's very costly just the moment the child has this. Because remember, not only the therapy, but they do use anti-convulsion medication. And it's very expensive because convulsion is one of the complications for cerebral palsy children. So when you calculate the cost of medication alone, not without
approximately
therapy,
yes, how much? Give us a round figure.
Like for Brittany, uses at least 3 doses of anticonvulsions, which cost around 500 per month, and she should never miss that, because the moment she misses even a dose, then the convulsion will strike. Now, about the therapy, remember, for these cases, earlier on I talked about the intensive therapy. Intensive therapy means at least 3 or 4 times a week. And let's take an example. Some hospitals, when you go there, per session, one session of 1 hour, a therapy session of 1 hour costs not less than 2,500 shillings.
Wow. 2,500
a session of therapy
per
hour. Unless you are in a government hospital. Now, the problem with the government hospital, they don't have more specialists. They don't have more occupational therapists. They don't have more personnel that handle these cases. So it's a challenge to them. So there is a lot of this during the government hospital, but now the therapy they get, it's not that much in this, because the number of the children and what they require. Remember, a session costs for an hour. It's not something that you just hold the child and just love them some 10, 15 minutes and just leave them. So in government hospital, most of the therapy sessions are free, but now the challenge is the personnel, the lack of enough personnel to work there.
Sarah, so, how you, sorry, Dr. Reed, yes. But Sarah, how are you able to foot the costs?
Kuna vile nasaidiwa through CPSK. Na nawashukuru sana kwa sababu singe afford. Britney alianza therapy akiwa mdogo, lakini ingekuwa inaendelea. Kuna wakati ilifika ikasimama, nilikosa pesa. Until vile nilipata CPSK, ndio nilianza kupata usaidizi. Britney alikaa kwa nyumba 2 years kama afanyiwi therapy. Kwa sababu sikuwa na income. Babake hakuwa na kazi, mimi mwenyewe sikuwa na kazi, nilikuwa namwangalia. Phone nilikaa kwa nyumba na yeye, hiyo miaka 2 yote hakuwa anapata therapy. But vile niliyopata hiyo organization ya CPSK ilinisaidia, walisimama na mimi, Britney akaanza kupata therapy, ndio sasa ilinishika mkono.
Winnie, lifestyle is very important. Take us through how lifestyle, especially for pregnant women, how it can help prevent cerebral palsy.
Okay, when we talk about lifestyle in pregnancy, we are talking about hygiene, we are talking about rest, we are talking about self-care in terms of treatment. Because it is the lifestyle that will determine what type of baby you're going to deliver. Cerebral palsy is very common in preterm babies and the small for gestational age, or the low birth weight babies, because like we said, it's about injury to the brain. These ones are prone to injury to the brain during delivery, the preterms. And again, they are very susceptible to infections which come during the neonatal period or during the first 1 month of delivery. Again, like we had said, the small or the low birth weight and the preterms are susceptible to low sugar levels immediately after birth. And they're the same people who are not able to suckle or to breastfeed immediately. Low sugar levels, again, will cause damage to the brain cells, because once the brain requires a steady supply of glucose immediately after birth. So when they experience low sugar levels, they may be affected. And this child will not show the symptoms until later. So if we don't take care of ourselves during pregnancy, then we may deliver the baby before term, or we may deliver a baby who has low birth weight. Again, during labor, it is important that the mothers get to the hospital as early as possible. In her case, or in Britney's case, the mother went early, but the circumstances that surrounded her labor may have caused Britney's brain cells to get damaged. So when we get to the hospitals early during labor, we are able to get checked early, because during labor, the problems that will affect the fetus will not be manifested in the mother until the midwife or the nurse will use gadgets to listen to the baby's fetal heart, or use their digits to do those examinations they do to tell that there is actually a problem. It is very hard to detect it. These problems will cause the cerebral palsy that we can see. Another big challenge that we are getting is the equipping of the hospitals, something that the medics have been out to the streets crying out for. I remember in my case, I delivered a child with cerebral palsy in my times of, in my experience. I had 2 mothers in labor and I'm alone in a very big labor ward. And they go into second stage at the same time. This one is delivering, the other one is delivering. So I'm here ready for this baby who comes out first. So the one who came out first, I received the baby. And the other one, as I'm receiving this one, the other baby comes out. You cannot tell them to stop pushing. So this baby comes out and the shoulders does not turn. Delivery is natural, but again, it's a maneuver. So the shoulders don't turn, and I have to be done with this one before I get there. So by the time I get to this other one to help the shoulders to turn, the baby had already turned blue, and this baby got affected by cerebral palsy. Unfortunately, I was the same nurse who saw this boy grow up to the age of 4 years when they lost their life. Cerebral palsy is not given the attention it deserves, because its contribution to mortality may not be captured, because cerebral palsy itself will not kill. The extent of brain damage does not deteriorate progressively. It is once and that's all. But then the conditions that come with it. We have children suffering from malnutrition, and so the immediate cause of death in a cerebral palsy child would be malnutrition. So what will be captured is the malnutrition.
And speaking of malnutrition, the importance of breastfeeding?
Breastfeeding in relation to cerebral palsy comes in the same thing I was talking about reducing the instances of low blood sugars to the brain, and again, reducing the yellow that I was talking about before, the jaundice, because breastfeeding facilitates the removal of the waste product. Every newborn will break down red blood cells because they have excess during pregnancy. So when they break down these red blood cells, the excess is usually removed during, or it is removed in urine and stool. When the newborn do not breastfeed the way they are supposed to, or enough, then this bilirubin, or the end product, is reabsorbed to the bloodstream. And like I had explained, it has a very high affinity for the blood tissue. It goes to the blood tissue and affects again the brain, causing the cerebral palsy.
All right, because of time, I will let Mama Brittany, Sarah have the last say. Sarah, what would be your advice to other Kenyans, to other mothers and fathers who probably their children are also suffering from cerebral palsy? Because clearly you're a very strong woman. Brittany is healthy. She is a smiling baby. What is your advice to Kenyans?
Mi advice yenye naweza pea wazazi wenzangu, tunapitia wakati mgumu, but usikufe moyo mahali popote huko, na usikae kwa nyumba. Ukiwa mzazi mwanamke, tafadhali, so long as uko na mtoto wa cerebral palsy, usikae kwa nyumba utegemee mzee. Ukikaa tu kwa nyumba, the moment utakaa kwa nyumba useme unaangalia mtoto, hizo masiku ndio tunaachwa kwa mataa. Tunapitia wakati mgumu. Yes, unaweza kuwa na huyo mzee kwa nyumba, lakini hakusupport. Yuko tu. My case, Brittany, baba yake yuko, but ajui vile anafanywa therapy, ajui vile anapata hizo dawa za conversions. Anaona tu mtoto anaenda shule, ajui anaenda aje shule. Anaweza angalia wale wengine, lakini Brittany ni wangu. Naweza ambia wazazi wenzangu, tujipe moyo. Yote tunapitia, Mungu ako na sababu ya kutupea hawa watoto. Na usimudharau, anaweza kukupeleka mbali. So long as uko na yeye, tafuta mtu. Yes, kuna majirani ya watu. Majirani huongea negative about us. Wengine husema tulifanya family, wengine husema ni laana, tumechukua kwa familia zetu, sisi ndio. Yote ufunge masikio, angalia Mungu, na ujipee nguvu, utafute kibarua hata kama ni ya kufua, hata kama ni upate tu ile yako shilingi 5 itakusaidia. Hiyo ndio advice naweza pea wazazi wenzangu, na tujipe moyo kabisa.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Na naomba serikali tafadhali, kuna ile pesa tunafaa kupata 2,000 per month. Tafadhali naomba serikali at least ituone hata kama itatuongeza kitu kidogo. Hiyo pesa unaambiwa unapata at the end of the month, haiuoni. Unaenda unapata jina lako aliko. Sasa hiyo uko na mtoto anataka dawa, uko na wengine pia wanataka kukula, wanakutegemea wewe. Ukiwa na mtoto wa CP usiseme ati uko na mzee. Ni wachache usupport family. Lakini kama mwanamke unafaa kujipea nguvu, na hiyo pesa naomba serikali, Uhuru tafadhali, angalie wazazi. Yes, tuko na watoto walemavu wengi, lakini ikifika kwa situation ya watoto wa cerebral palsy, wanawake tunapitia. Naomba tu aweze kutusaidia, aweze kukumbuka watoto walemavu.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much, Winnie, and thank you so much, Douglas, and also thank you so much, Brittany. That was Sarah Mora, Brittany's mom, Brittany as well.